So this is going to be your #1 way to grind XP for your account and for your weapons specifically inside of the endgame mode. This is by far the fastest XP method that I've seen anyone talk about, and I honestly just need to show you guys this because it's actually insane. So the main thing is that you're gonna have to be level 60 combat running. Not exactly level 60, you can be 45 or above, but it's just best if you're a high enough combat rating to deal with tier 4 because you are gonna be in tier 4 for all of this. This also works way better if you have a friend to play with you. It still works fine solo, but if you have friends that also want to XP grind with you, or maybe you can even go into the game solo but try and find some other people doing the same strat and try and invite them to your squad, because that would be really good. So the method is basically inside of endgame, you're gonna see these HVT contracts in tier 4. There can be 3 HVT contracts that I'll circle here on the map that can spawn on like these islands. And there's also another HVT contract at the top part of tier 4 as well. And now with these blue contracts in the game, anyone on your squad, no matter where they are or what they're doing, they will get the rewards and XP for doing the challenge. Unlike the green contracts where you have to be close to actually participate and get the rewards for doing the contract. So basically all the strategy is just spamming those HVT contracts over and over again. You just want to find the HVT contract, pick it up, go up to the boss, and you want to melt the boss as quickly as possible. Now, there's a little tip I can show you, is you want to make sure you're running this like a bubble. I'm not sure what the bubble's called, but you have to run this bubble. You don't have to, but it basically makes it so much easier because there's a glitch that you can do that if you just jump while the animation is ending for the bubble, it shows like invalid bubble placement on your screen, but it still places the bubble down, but it gives back your cooldown straight away. So you basically have infinite uses of that bubble, and that bubble literally makes you invincible. As soon as you place the bubble down, any enemies inside of the bubble will just walk out and not shoot you, and anybody outside the bubble, which will be everyone, can't do anything to you, and you can just shoot right through the bubble. So it literally makes you invincible. So it makes taking out these HVTs a complete breeze because you can just go in there, do the jumping method to make sure that you don't use the cooldown on it, melt the boss, and just get out. Now, the reason this is so good with teammates or just other randoms that you find in the match, because that's exactly what I did. I was running this solo, but then I noticed this guy was also doing the same strategy as me. So I just invited him to the squad, and we ended up getting a lot more XP that way because we were training contracts together. So the most efficient way to do this is to try and work with your teammate where he can pick up a contract and you can just go exactly where the HVT spawns, because the contract where it spawns does dictate where the HVT is going to be, and he's going to be in the same place every single time. So once you learn where the HVT goes, you can work with your teammates to basically just spawn kill them as soon as they spawn, and then you can just go grab a new HVT contract. That's why the free contracts at the bottom part of the map makes this strat really good, because you can go and pick up the contract and have your teammate waiting where the boss is, and then get them to kill the boss as soon as it spawns, and then go grab another HVT contract. Now, this doesn't make it so you can just like infinitely go for HVT contracts over and over, because there is a cooldown between them. So you can do them forever, but you can't like pick up new ones immediately every single time. There is a cooldown you'll have to wait for. But obviously, the quicker you do the contract, the quicker that it will respawn, which is more kills for you and more XP. And as you can see on this shotgun, I was level 1 and I got over 25 levels on the shotgun, which is like pretty good for like the normal leveling system on the game. But once you're in the prestige levels where you're like past the max level on your second prestige and you're going up to 250, the levels fly by so quick that you literally get a level every single contract with double XP. It is insane, dude. This strategy is super good. So some major tips I would recommend is just learning where the HVTs go so you can very easily just go straight to the boss and kill them. Make sure you're running the bubble and try and jump once that animation is ending so you get that invalid placement warning on your screen. And that means that you'll keep your cooldown on the bottom right and you can use it again as much as you want, but you still use the bubble and you're still invincible, so you can just wipe out the boss super easy. Make sure you obviously have a legendary gun as well. That's going to help a lot with killing the boss quicker. You can just go and do the activity to get the legendary gun if nobody else has done it, because that will also give you XP as well. And on top of that, like I said, the most important part is just try to have people helping you. Try to find some randoms in the game game, or try and find some friends, or possibly maybe some people in my Discord server if you join that in the link in the description. Try and find people to help you do this because it's gonna make grinding XP so much quicker. Now, some things that I would make sure to avoid. You have to be careful when you're playing with teammates because there's a couple things you gotta make sure you don't do, otherwise you can mess up this whole system and you gotta go exfil and go into another game. So if you and your teammate are both waiting for HVT contracts on both sides of the map and you both start scanning the contract at the same time, the person who scans the contract first will get the contract, but if the other person was also scanning at the same time, that contract is now going to be bugged forever and never come back for the rest of the game. So you're just basically screwed yourself. So it's good to just check in with your teammates just to make sure they're not trying to grab a contract at the same time as you. Maybe just wait or just let them know that you're going to grab the contract. That way you don't bug out the contract. Another thing as well is just make sure that you don't fully die. If you die and you self-res or you die and you get res by your teammate, that's completely fine. But try not to fully die while you have a contract active because I've noticed this also makes it so any of the contracts that you've picked up just end up not respawning anymore. Not even just the one that you're doing, but all of the ones that you picked up just don't respawn anymore, at least from my experience. So try your absolute best to not fully die. I would say if you're playing duos, you only have 2 people, stick to the bottom part of the map together and loop those 3 contracts, or possibly 2, sometimes it's only 2, that are at the bottom of the map. And of course, if you see any randoms trying to do the same strategy and stealing your contracts, just try your best to invite them to your squad. That way you can do this even more efficiently and all get XP. But yeah, if you're duos, just stick to the bottom part of the map. That way you can easily chain the contracts together and get the kills as soon as the contract's picked up. And you can also revive each other in case there are any situations where you go down. But again, if you just make sure to do the tech with the bubble where you jump and you have infinite uses, you will literally be invincible every time. There's just, you know, sometimes when you try to make your way to the boss and you get prox mined or blah blah blah, you know, it's not impossible to end up getting downed by accident. But you know, with the bubble strat, you can basically be invincible, not worry about it. Another tip as well is if you see any green contracts that are super easy to do, like those campfire contracts, or there's this container with like the electricity symbol, that one is super easy to do because you can just go up to the thing you need to scan, place your bubble, scan it, go up to the other thing you need to scan, place your bubble and scan it, just wait about 30 seconds and boom, you get 1200 XP just like that. It's not exactly XP when I say 1200 or 2000 XP, but it's whatever that plus means. It's a lot more than that, but that's just what I'm going to call it, by the way. It's not actually only 2000 XP because then I wouldn't be that good. But yeah, just try and do any of those green activities that are super easy to do, but just remember it's only going to count for you unless your teammates are near you as well. But it doesn't really matter at the end of the day because you can start as many green contracts as you can and it doesn't lock out any of the blue ones or any more green ones. And if you accidentally end up doing any of the stuff that makes your contracts go away, like dying or scanning the same one at the same time, then just go to an exfil, just leave the game and just go into another one. You're gonna get more XP that way. You're just gonna accept the fact that you kind of fucked up and you have to restart. Sure, you could stay in, do some other contracts or whatever, but it's just better if you just stick to the HVT contracts. And same goes if like some people are doing the strategy and stealing your kills and they just refuse to join your team, then yeah, just exfil out and just try again. But yeah, that is the fastest way to earn XP and weapon XP as well. And if you need some teammates to try and run the XP strat with, then I will have a link to my server in the description, like I said, where you can probably find some people that want to XP grind. And if you guys found this video helpful, I would really appreciate if you like and subscribed, and I'll see you tomorrow.